Let me ask you something. What happens when you build everything you thought you wanted and still feel like something is missing? Not because you failed, but because success didn't fulfill you the way you expected it to. Today's conversation is not surface level motivation. This is about the tension between achievement and alignment, between fear and truth, and what it really takes to build a life that reflects who you are and not just what you do. Welcome back to Mindset Mastery Moments. I am Dr. Alisa, your number one mindset disruptor. This space is where we challenge how you think, shift how you move, and we elevate how you show up in your life, your career, your purpose, and in everything you do. Because, mindset isn't just what you think, it's truly how you live. And today we're going deep. Today's guest is someone who brings both real world success and real internal work to the table. I am speaking to Mr. Kris. He is an award winning author, conscious entrepreneur, and spiritual teacher whose work challenges people to move through fear, reconnect with their inner truth, and build lives rooted in purpose. He's not just talking theory, he has lived it. Kris is a veteran CEO, a serial entrepreneur who has founded 12 high impact companies with 11 success exits. Now that's boss move. And one IPO. And after decades of building externally, he spent over 30 years developing a deeper internal framework captured in his book called The Infinity Within, which explores fear, awakening, and what it really means to live in alignment.
Welcome to Mindset Mastery Moments, the best growth mindset podcast recognized by Million Podcasts and ranked as a top mindset podcast by FeedSpot. We're proud to be in the top 1% on Listen Notes. Join Dr. Alisa Whyte as we explore powerful insights and strategies to elevate your mindset. Let's dive in.
There's a reason the old saying you can lead a horse to water exists.
Make him drink. And I realize I don't even have to try because that is not what they're here for.
No, they're on their own journey, doing their own thing, following their own path, or the game has caught them up in the game like it's supposed to, and they may not be on their path for a little while, so they'll do over a few times.
They'll be coming like this. And it's okay.
I've met a few people that have been in the game probably hundreds of turns.
And what was the sign? How did you know? How do you know? Is there a way to tell how many turns, or have you been connected that deep where you know now about your own self? Past life regression, maybe?
I've had some pretty crazy past life stuff, yes. But to answer your question, as a child growing up, I always and still do see auras around people. So
Right.
I've always had a viewport that's different. Initially, and for many years, I thought everybody saw everybody with auras around it. But then the more I talk to people, it's like, what are you talking about? What do you mean there's these bands of color around people? What do you mean the bands are thicker or not, thinner and all this stuff? I said, you don't see any of that? I said, no.
Wow.
So, yeah, think of it almost like, it's not exactly, it's different, but kind of like the rings on a tree trunk.
Ah, wow.
Not the same, but there's some similarity there.
That's what should I say, the earthling nearest description. Because we all are anyway, because we're all here. But again, some of us are given these. We have negotiated our time here differently than some, is what I think in the context of our discussion is what it would say, right?
Yeah, when we first entered
took.
the game, when we first decided to play, we already decided in a rough way what our turns are going to look like, what things we want to experience, what things we need to achieve to move to the next turn. We already had all those agreements in place.
Wow.
I talked to a lady who, it was hilarious because we were talking about this and we were talking about some past life stuff. She says, that makes total sense because ever since, I think her entire life, she knows that she picked the family that she was born to, like months in advance of even being born. And
Wow.
so each one of us chooses what part of the planet, what family, what place, what everything that happens, we are the co-creators of. And we
Right.
choose ahead of time what family and what place we're going to be in order to experience and have the experiences that we want to have for that lifetime.
Right.
And she actually said, yeah, I remember and saw the family before I was born, saw my brother and sister, saw where they lived, and made a choice to join them. And then I was,
That's believable. And the thing I question, because like for me, born where I was, I'm very grateful and I love that I was born in Guyana, South America. But then there's parts of me that has this thing for other parts of the world. And I've come to the conclusion that there was a time when I belonged there because I almost know. I go there. I just literally travel there and it's not new. It's like, I remember. And so meeting people, I go, I remember you. And it's serious. It's what I've kind of done my whole life, even as a young child who did not have quote unquote as much spiritual depth. It's like, I remember you. I remember you. My gosh, here you are. My soul actually just knew. And I used to think, is something wrong with me? What is that?
well, we're told that ghosts
Yeah,
don't exist. We're
right.
told that we're supposed to not be connected. And then the cheat codes come in and it's our choice to listen.
I started listening and oh, the things I know when I know. And and then I zoom out and then I zoom in. I zoom out because I'm making these choices all the time. Basically what you're saying, these are my little cheat codes because they really help me navigate the systems that exist. And as you say, navigate mostly fear because again, I read that book by Marianne Williamson, Fear or Love. So keeps me closer to the love side. Like people are like, why do you let them get away with that?
Exactly.
I fear nothing. Really?
I mean,
I want to hang
wasn't
out over here.
it Forrest Gump that said it best?
Which one?
Something about a
Life is a
box of
box of
cherries
chocolate
and
and you
chocolates, and that
never know which
some
one you're going to
people,
get.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, one of my most favorite sayings that I could, and I was like, it's got to be that one he's talking about because it is.
yeah,
Never know which one you're going to get. But sometimes I was sitting back there thinking, I know some part of me know exactly which one I'm going to get. So when it's in front of me, I'm like, there you are. Okay.
exactly.
Just keep trucking. I say, just keep trucking because I'm going to go through this bump and it's not going to be the end of me. And the end of me doesn't exist, is what I say. So
Well,
I
if we're
tell
soul-like beings that exists outside of space and time, then yeah, that pretty much says it all, right?
yeah. And that's my thing. And that's why I look at people, I'm like, I don't fear death. I remember fearing dead people, but that was something that was imposed on me to
Mhm.
fear the dead. I don't like being around dead bodies. It's just not a fun thing for
Well,
me. I don't know why.
when once
It's
they're
just,
dead, they're pretty much a piece of clay.
yeah. And in my mind, it's like a piece of poop. But anyway, I don't like being around dead body because it's decay. It's just ooey. But I'm not afraid of death because I'm like, that is all that is. Like I'm more concerned about people who are not ready to lose me, but they also chose that life path to
Mhm.
be on this journey with me. Who's going to drop off or somebody? So they'll be okay. Is what I've come to. So I'm like, death is not, and I'm like, we don't need caskets and all that. Don't waste the materials that you have. Just do a cremation and put my remains in the ocean. And most people are like, that's so cruel. I'm like, because I am gone, honey, doing something else. I don't know. Maybe I came back and I'm being a butterfly. I don't know what I'm choosing. I don't get all that yet. I haven't had, but I'm like, I'm not there. So there's nothing to really do. But hey, if it makes your boat float, go for it. Because I used to tell people I'll haunt them, but not anymore. I've learned that hey, they need to have their experience too. So fun. The
Exactly.
wild things I say, and I get guests on this show that just opens up, and people are like, "Oh, Alisa, really? You're such a good Christian girl. Don't you believe in the return of Christ? I am the return of Christ."
No, and everything I've said does not preclude Jesus returning.
Come on now. And
If
that's
we're these soul beings and Jesus obviously is one as well, then he can choose to re-enter anytime he wants as well, right? So
right.
it doesn't take away from some of the really powerful messages.
Come on now.
But what it does do is it says maybe he didn't really want to be on a pedestal. Maybe he was really just trying to teach and show.
I would say everything about his journey, there's evidence that he never wanted to be on a pedestal. The way he showed up, where he showed up, how he
How
showed up,
he showed up.
his journey the entire time to the last drop. Said, look, man, you're going to do bigger, better. So don't even worry about this. Don't get all, don't buy into the hype of what's happening here. This is just normal, everyday stuff. You're going to do bigger, greater. So who else talks that way? People who are not interested in being glorified. And so I always, ever since I was a child, that's been my role model. And I tell people the more I got closer to understanding how Jesus walked the earth, and that being my quest to walk as he did, the less all the honorable pastor, Dr. Miss Minister Alisa, I did everything but get a ministerial license because I'm like, don't need one. This is my ministry here to give people information that helps them think and return to themselves, that's literally I say your mindset is the key to your success. I'm like, think deeper. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Think deeper. Go wider. Listen, look for more because there's more. Keep going. Every guest brings a different perspective to me about technically the same thing, which is go deeper, go wider, go higher. Just get closer back to who you are. Just listen to the voice within more, right? So here's the elephant in the room, entrepreneurship and spirituality, because I told you, we've got a lot of high achievers on this podcast listening. We've got a lot of people who are listening, young people who have been in foster care listening that says, I don't want to work for anyone. I want to be an entrepreneur. Let's address that. There's this idea that spirituality and business don't mix. You have lived
I
both.
that question. And in the introduction of The Infinity Within, I picked 4 people.
Right.
And 2 of them are from our way past. 2 of them are from our current day. And the 4th one, my mom got pretty upset about.
Did she? No, I've gotten that far. I've gotten a little bit further than the intro because I usually try to finish all the books, but I didn't.
No worries. So the first person I talk about is Jesus.
Right.
The second one is the Buddha.
Yes.
The third one is a gentleman that went through some really difficult and near killing himself times, and that's Eckhart Tolle. And then he made it through and has written some phenomenal books. And he speaks and does different things, and he's really got a really powerful story, right?
Yes.
The fourth one actually answers your question, and that's Elon Musk.
Yes, come on.
Now, if you and I sat down with Elon and said, hey, Elon, are you a spiritual leader? My bet is on, he'd say,
no. And I could see him like, I am not. I can see him like, I am not. You know how he talks. I can see him right now saying it. But he's to be studied.
Look at what he's doing by being tied into remembering. As a child, he was abused. His peers beat him. He's said that his dad was really not a nice person at all. He went through some extremely difficult stuff. And then when he was building Tesla, he told it was impossible. You can never build a new car company. And DeLorean tried and failed miserably. And yet, arguably, Tesla's the largest car manufacturing plant on the planet right now.
Yeah. I've been looking into getting myself one, but some people might have an issue with that. It's a car.
It's a nice
car. That's a great equipment. You guys can fight about all the other things. I don't have time for it. I'm getting me a Tesla.
Then he's told it's impossible to re-land and reuse rockets. Nobody's done it. NASA has spent billions of dollars trying. The space shuttle is an example. Countries have tried doing this. Nobody's been able to do it. And yet in a few years, he has now made it commonplace.
It's just everyday business for Elon.
The third thing he's told over and over again, and you'll hear this as entrepreneurs, it is impossible for a single person to run multiple multi-million-dollar companies and have any success. It's too much. And yet, he's doing that too.
In different industries all over the place.
In totally different industries.
Which is what I get told the way I build, nonprofit, for-profit, media. People are like, I'm like, what? They all seem the same to me. They're just an extension of the other. So why are you segmenting? And I'm going to stay with that. That's my
Yeah.
conviction. I'm staying with that.
So when you ask how does technology and entrepreneurship and
And
building companies
spirituality.
mix with spirituality, when you start remembering who you are, when you start seeing through the veil, when you start tapping into those abilities, not all of them because you've already agreed not to, but when you even start tapping into a small amount of those abilities, Elon's a perfect example of what happens.
Exactly. I say the man is to be studied. And I make reference to him very often in different ways in conversations on this podcast and else. And I didn't land on him because of it was my spiritual path that led me to Elon. And it is also my entrepreneurial journey that led me back to Elon because the multifaceted aspect, it's like it's very few examples out there. Most people have picked a lane and they become hugely, widely successful. You think about actors and actresses, they tell you this story. Look, I always wanted to act so bad. I dropped out of college. I went to Harvard and I dropped out because I believed in what I do. I sold pizza and then I was homeless and I lived in my car and I kept going into theater. And you hear this really disciplined journey. And I'll say I have the utmost respect for those people. But that's one of the things with you, Kris, when I saw your background, like, okay, that's my people. That's my people. Someone else gets it that they don't have to stick. And then you heard me point out that you exited
Mhm,
successfully
mhm.
these, because a lot of people feel like, oh, you're going to do this business, you're going to run this company, and you're going to give it to all your great grandkids forever. And no, come in with an exit strategy. A lot of people, I'm like, you know what? We're rocking out mindset mastery moments. But I wouldn't be the host of this podcast after I probably have like another year and a half. That's max. Because, I said 2 years ago that it was going to be 2 years, and we're in that 1.5 because that's where, and I'm like, it doesn't mean it's going to go away. Probably going I'm going to do what podcasters never do, have different hosts, host the same stream. We've got the people who are listening and they want to be fed on this platform. So I'm going to exit, but doesn't mean the show ends
Mhm.
because I'm not it and it's not me. It's part of what I've become a part of this. That's how I look at of what's to be facilitated on the platform. And so tell us what's broken. Is it how we think about success today? Or
I would say nothing's broken. It's the game is designed to be difficult and keep us not remembering that ghosts are real. The game is
Mm,
designed to keep us from hearing and seeing these small miracles and paying attention to what the latest car is, what the latest thing is, what the latest material thing is.
mhm,
Is that wrong? No. Each person is on their own path, and maybe one of somebody's path may be to get a pile of gold in their living room, which is fine if that's their path.
that's what
The
I
point of
say.
the story is it's not that it's broken, it's just that we're on paths and that we have certain goals that we've kind of pre agreed to, and
Prioritize,
if we
yeah.
get lost from that path, that's okay too, because we just do the turn over and over again until such time as we start listening and
Yeah,
remembering. And then we figure out that turn and we move into another turn, which we may be stuck in for a while. And that's okay. It's the experience, it's the journey, it's not the destination.
exactly. So here's the thing. Can someone truly build wealth and still be aligned on their path?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The key here is the soul wants to experience
Hmm.
the good, the
Curiosity.
bad, the ugly. It wants to experience
All the ranges of emotions and
all of it.
experiences.
If you filter out emotions and experiences, then what's the point?
And that's why I look at people who say, if I had known who he was, I had known who she was, I would have never wasted 15 years being with them. And I'm like, yeah, you
It
would.
was part it
And
was
you
part of
liked
their
it
path.
too.
It was part of their path to be with that person for those 15 years and to learn the things. And here's the key. When we go through hard times or
Mm,
really hard times, really difficult times, and there's a lot of
yeah.
people that do, it can either beat you up or you can learn to learn from it. And when you
Mm-hmm.
learn to learn from it, you grow. And when you
Mm-hmm.
get beaten up and you can't get up, you stop growing.
Yeah. Yeah. I got one thing to ask you that's completely off the wall before we do flip the script. Because you and I have a lot going on. You got to come back. Like, this is why I'm calling season 4. I mean, I've got people lined up. Like, I know you're done with season 3. You're done booking, but are you going to book for season 4? And I'm like, I'm feeling called that season 4 is a dig deeper with each of my guests from season 3 and a couple from season 2 at least. But have you watched Lucifer on Netflix?
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes of it. I haven't watched it much.
Uh-huh.
It's probably going to be a TV series very much like Firefly was for me.
I didn't see that one. I
So
wish I did.
Firefly
Who's
only
starring in
made,
Firefly?
Nathan Fillion.
Okay, I haven't seen it,
I
but
think
I
that's
heard of it.
right.
Now I'm gonna put it on my list because I need some new
Well,
shows.
here's what's funny is I first saw Firefly on TV when it was running. And it only made it, I think, like 6 or 7 episodes and was canceled. So when I
Man, you
saw
know
it,
those shows get canceled, the good ones.
well, when I saw it, I went, "Oh, this is hokey. This is basically space. This is cowboys in space, and it's really hokey." And I went, click, off. And then a few years later, it had already been canceled. But of course, Netflix is great, right?
Right.
I think I was home and I really didn't want to go work, and I wanted to just veg
Chill
out
out.
and
Yeah,
do
that's
like
me.
serial watching, right?
Yeah, that's me. That's how I
And
watch
so
TV.
Firefly came up, and I said, "Why not?" So I watched the first episode. It's like, it's okay. And the second one went,
Mm.
I'm kind of liking this now. And then I watched the rest. I went, wait a minute. What do you mean it's over? What do you mean there's no more episodes? So then the cast a few years later ended up getting it produced as a movie, which is called
Mm.
Serenity. And the movie is really quite good. And then as of a few months ago, Ethan and all the actors have gotten together and somehow crowdfunded, group funded, or whatever. I think what they've put together is an animated version using their voices of
Ah,
the movie, of not the movie, but of the series as a
series.
restart. Because in the
Ah,
movie, a few key people died. So obviously that can't happen.
right.
But my understanding is, I've only followed little bits and pieces I see, but supposedly Firefly's going completely on. So the reason I bring that
Mm.
up is I think Lucifer is probably going to be that kind of show for me because I
It was
saw it.
for
It's like,
me.
I looked at it, yeah, this is interesting, but I'm not sure yet. I wasn't really ready for it. So I just went
Yeah,
click.
that's what I.
But at some point, I may just watch it and go binge and go, this is kind of cool.
You know, the reason I brought it up because I had the exact expression. It was there. Someone was watching it, and I was like, "Yeah." I sat down for a like, still no. And then I was just scrolling through, and I felt you need to watch this. Challenge everything in you to watch a series about the devil. It's everything you never thought it would be. Number one, not to spoil it. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but there's all this loop when it comes to hell and the devil. You see, it's all a loop, and they mix angels and activity with the like heaven and earth are really not as disconnected as you think, and hell is a loop. And that was why I brought you back, because you said, oh, we go back and come back. Because what people are doing to correct themselves is looping. So it's pretty interesting. So many things that open up and even showing you the devil's fragility, which is, you would never believe how vulnerable Lucifer himself is. And the way it context the character. And people are like, someone says, so you really allow yourself to feel bad for Satan? I'm like, Lucifer and Satan are not the same people if you watch Lucifer. But that's a whole nother episode for us. Oh my goodness. Kris, it's just such an amazing time talking to you. So here's a question I have for you. There's some high achievers and higher performers listening and watching us right now. What are 2 to 3 daily practices that actually create alignment while still executing at that high level?
Well, we've talked about one in some detail, and that's how to face fear.
Yeah.
We brought up an example of asking for a raise. However, in being a founder of multiple companies, I can guarantee you that if I'm making a big shift for my company, or I'm changing a product, or I'm adding a new product, or I'm facing late deadlines, the list goes on,
Mm-hmm.
fear pops up
Yeah.
for all of us. And when that pops up, when we start feeling tight, when we start getting that pressure,
Uh-huh.
pause.
Mm.
3 questions. What am I afraid of? How is it serving me today?
Mm.
How does it serve me tomorrow? And then start being curious. That's the second answer to your question.
Mm.
Don't get stuck. Be curious. Start asking questions when you feel stuck. when you feel fearful,
Mm-hmm.
when you feel doubt, when you doubt yourself. Why am I doubting myself? Where is this coming from? But instead of the three questions for fear, which is what am I fearful of? How does it serve me today? How does it serve me going forward? With doubt is where is this doubt coming from? How is this doubt serving me today? And where did it come from in my past?
Mm-hmm.
Doubt is a past question. Fear is a future question.
Yeah. Wow. So good. Doubt and fear. Interesting. I love it. Now, you talk about conscious creation. What does that look like? And when you're in the middle of building something, how do you navigate that? Conscious creation. What does that
Well,
look like for
the
you?
easy answer is our discussion about Elon. There's a perfect example of conscious
Mm-hmm.
creation.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another version of that answer is how many times have you heard people that are in the zone?
Yeah.
That's conscious creation.
Uh,
That's us
uh,
tapping into the rest of us. That's
mm-hmm.
us getting into the zone and doing things that are pretty incredible. I mean, there's some pretty neat stuff that comes out of places when people are in the zone.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly fast creation and incredibly creative creation. All kinds of things come from when we get focused into the zone and when we're in the creative space.
Mm-hmm.
And arguably, that I mean, you remember what I said about the three things a soul does? What was
Yeah.
the first one?
We want the curiosity. No.
You got the right first letter. What does a godlike being do?
Create. Yes. Create, destroy.
Destroy, play
And
game.
the other one is play games. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the number one soul level thing is creation.
Yes.
So when we start tapping into that even as a human being, what are we really tapping into?
Yes. It's funny. My head just, you asked that question, and I'm sitting here thinking about it's almost like I can put activities of people around me into one of those three categories. And now I've seen them do even myself. And it's like, okay. And then I'm looking at some other people and I realize they've spent more of their time in the creation. They're creating. Like for me personally, I'm a creator. And I
Right.
dare not. And one of the things that frustrates me most on planet Earth is when I see destruction or harm being done, whether it's self-inflicted, self-warranted, or just people be. And I mean destruction of property, destruction, speaking
Everything.
down to people, breaking anything that brings destruction. And then I question the people who play, and I question how I play. And I'm like, why can't I just play? Not and the way I play, I'm like, okay, so I'm looking at no harm done, but they're really playing. And I'm like, why don't I do that? And I'm like, so is it that maybe I came on this planet to create and
Mhm.
facilitate love? This round is probably not about. And then I'm like, okay, so all the suffering I experience, is that because I'm paying off karmic debt?
Well, it
And
could
then
be
I
two
have these
things.
vivid visions of myself, and I call it for me, and this, I'm at peace with it that it might have been past life. It's so real. And I was so vile, and I caused so much harm and destruction in these, what I now call memories, the last decade or so. And I'm like, okay, so maybe that's why I can't dance over there with any form of manipulation or destruction. I didn't have these words for it, but I'm looking at what you're saying, and now, I'm going to be marinated in this in a while because it might be bringing answers to things that I've just let out to be in the universe and say, if it's to be, it will come to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are your reflections on that? What I just said about the categories of
Rule eight
roles we play throughout our journey.
talks about karma.
I
As
didn't
far
get
as I
there
can
yet.
tell, it exists and it serves a purpose.
Yeah.
So you ask question: are you playing back karmic balance? Potentially, or maybe your path was to experience those bad things in order to really experience the good things. One of the
Right.
things this universe exists in is this concept of dichotomy. You
Mm.
can't truly hate somebody if you haven't truly learned love, and vice versa.
Mm.
All emotions have an opposite. All colors have an opposite. All thoughts and constructs have an opposite. Dichotomy is a base thing that happens everywhere.
So good. You guys know you got to read this book, and we'll come back and talk about it because you guys are going to tell us what you want us to talk about from reading the book.
show for everybody if they want to see what it looks like?
Yes. It's such a
Absolutely.
beautiful book. It's beautiful. It's a great read. I've started it. I'm going to finish. I have an e-copy. Did you do it in Audible yet?
Yeah, there's a fun ego story for you. You want to hear it?
Yes, of course we do.
I don't normally like to tell ego stories because it's just not that important. But this
Right, but it's
one really made me feel good. So I
mhm.
like to tell it. So I got the book done the middle of last year,
Mhm.
and I searched and searched for a particular type of voice for the Audible book.
Mm.
And I found an actor, I think he's also a screenwriter, and his name's Eduardo Bellini. I think I always butcher his name. And
Mhm.
he's done over 750 books. And he's
Wow.
done books for Eckhart Tolle, The Untethered Soul,
Okay, so I know that voice.
Dean Koontz, the
I love
Dalai
it.
Lama, and he's
Yes.
won multiple awards narrating. So he's not new in this business,
No,
okay?
I've actually listened to him. I don't know his name like that, but now you mentioned those books. Yeah, those authors. Yeah.
Okay. So I get a hold of Eduardo and I said, I really would like you to do this. Now, this is my first spiritual book, right? So he kind of
Right.
looks at it. He says, yeah, I'm going to be kind of expensive. And I said, yeah, I get that. I said, we'll get that figured out. And the second thing he tells me is, I have a really busy schedule and I'm probably not going to get to this until Christmas or the middle of next year.
Which is 2026.
Yes. And I
Okay.
said, your voice and what you will bring to the book is important to me enough to wait. So in Audible, in order to officiate the contract, the narrator has to do a 15-minute sample that I then bless and say, yeah, I like it.
Right.
So Eduardo does the 15-minute piece, sends it to me, and the next day gets a hold of me and says, yeah, Kris, I'm not putting your book down. I'm finishing it this week, and I've postponed my other projects until yours is done. And he did finish it that week. So
Oh,
I can tell you it is worth listening to. I love Eduardo's voice, and he
what's
gives it
fun?
a
Yes.
really, really phenomenal texture.
Yeah.
So, yes, if you like Audible, please get it because he has done a phenomenal job
I'm
in
getting
being
my
the
copy
voice
right
for
now.
the Infinity.
So my thing is, funny story, I would tell you, I can definitely hear your voice and love your voice on it. So I was surprised. But again, you've got somebody really great. But yeah, your voice would have done a great job too, by the way. So if you
Well,
your
thank you.
next book, if you want to do it, you got my vote for what it's worth. But I'm big on voices when it comes to my Audible books because I'm a big Audible reader as well. It helps me get through, and then I actually buy the actual book copy based on how I like the ebook because I want to read it again. I tend to read my books over and over again because
Yep.
there's always something. And here's my copy. I'm getting it right now. It's 9
Nice.
hours and 13 minutes. You guys have to get it. Now you guys really don't have a reason not to read the book. I'm just telling you. And again, my guests don't come on here trying to tell anyone what to do. They don't ask me to promote their things. They just come to share the light. And here's the book. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a
The
sample.
infinity within. Break through fear, trust your inner power, and create a life that reflects who you truly are. Written by Kris, narrated by Eduardo Ballerini.
Give it a second. He's very much into pauses.
To my wife, Danelle, it's a privilege to share my love with you. To my children, Jacob, Cooper, and growth and curiosity provides a constant source of joy and pride. To Mom, who asks, now what? Dad, who always took me to his office but no longer is with us. And my sisters, who got me on the writing path. And I dedicate this book to every seeker, young and old, from all walks of life, who senses there is more to existence than meets the eye. To those who feel the pull of something greater, may this book serve as a beacon, reminding you that the journey of awakening begins when you remember who you truly are.
And that's what you guys get. But everybody who's read Eckhart Tolle, all those people you mentioned know that voice and know he keeps you. I know why you went after him, and I know because he does an amazing job.
He
I
does.
know
His
his voice
voice
so
is
well.
amazing. Yeah.
Yes, he creates imagery with his voice. You feel like you're watching a movie and you just stay in it. He is one of the very best narrators, I must say, because again, I have 291 titles in Audible. I've been with Audible since Audible existed.
292.
No, I do, right? This is my 292nd. Yes, absolutely. Oh my goodness. Let's ask you, Kris, what is success for you now after all that you have walked through and that you're building?
Helping people remember.
I feel that one. I feel that one. What's your next level and what mindset is required for you to get there?
Well, fortunately, I already have the mindset. It comes
Good.
from everything we've talked about.
Yes.
What comes for me is when I first put this book together and wrote predominantly most of it, there's a couple things that changed. It was a single book.
Mm-hmm.
When I rewrote it in the middle of or beginning of last year, it became a trilogy. So, book 2, The Orchard Hush, I've
Lovely.
finished the second draft and I'm starting the third draft, and I should be finished and getting it published sometime this year.
That is just so awesome. So you
And then
definitely have a date with me, but we got to do a date on when I am done reading within and see where the audience may guide us to go.
yes.
Yeah.
And then book 3, I have the outline completed because I wanted the trilogy to flow as a trilogy, but
Yes.
I haven't done any writing in it.
But
It's
you've
just
set
the
up the
overall
frame.
construct. The overall construct is there.
Yeah.
I can tell you that Elias and Gabriel stay in all 3 books. In the second book, I add a new character. Her name is Syrah, and she adds a whole new layer to everything that we're talking about.
Oh, that is so awesome. Such a gift to the world. I absolutely love it. And we absolutely appreciate it. Now we're going to do mindset bites to go. This is where I step away from the microphone and the camera. It's just you and the listeners and viewers. And the question I'm going to pose to you, and you can add anything else you want to, Kris. What does someone need to hear right now who feels successful on paper, but empty in reality? Here you go.
Successful on paper. So I guess the first thing would be to look at the goals of what is it you're trying to do and achieve. And then, as we discussed earlier in this discussion, is to take a little bit more time in life to pause and to listen to the small miracles that happen to all of us around us every single day. And as we start opening up to seeing them as communications or things that open up the veil and stop seeing them as coincidences or things to not believe in, then we get to start remembering that we are all connected and that we are all co-creators in this game.
We're all co-creators in this game. Phenomenal. Oh my goodness. So Kris, we want to know well, you guys already know where to get the book. You can get it on Audible and probably wherever books are sold. But Kris, confirm for us that and then tell us how you'd love for us to connect with you and let you know that we've heard you here, and also just let you know what a blessing and enrichment to our lives and our journey you have been.
Absolutely. I've been extremely blessed. If you type in Krisland, Krisland, and or the Infinity Within on any of the search engines, might take over like the first 3 pages. So
Great.
you can't not find me if you type those in. You can get the book at Audible Books, on Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Noble. Of all places, you can go to Walmart and get it.
Nice.
Also, there are bookstores all around the world that have picked up the books. I've gotten calls from bookstores in Norway, Barcelona, Italy, France, Australia. So it is available. If the bookstore doesn't have it, you can go up to them and ask them to order it, and they will be able to order it. It is available worldwide.
Nice.
And then as far as getting a hold of me, so the first thing is Krisland, KRISLAND.com is my home webpage.
Mm-hmm.
And then to let me know what you think, I hate to be self-serving in this, but reviews. Reviews
Yes.
are incredibly powerful, not only
Yes.
for the ranking and getting the popularity of the book, but they really
Pushes
let
it
me
further.
know. They let me know how the book landed. And I'll give you an
Yes.
example of how that looks. I had one review that's one of my favorites. She said, reading The Infinity Within was like sitting with my best friend and talking about life.
That is
So
a compliment.
It's the reviews and what you guys give back and let me know that
Mhm.
really are the most important for me,
Mm-hmm.
so that I actually hear that the book is doing what I designed it for, which is to start getting us to all remember, especially in today's life where there's a lot of stressful and fearful things going on almost
Yes.
daily.
Mhm.
If we remember that we're actually co-creators and can work together at changing that landscape, I think
Mhm.
that's huge.
Certainly is. It certainly is. Oh my goodness, Kris, this was so powerful. I am so appreciative of your time today. We definitely are so grateful that you have given us a two-part episode here, definitely. So if you just finished this one, you may have missed the first one. Go back and listen. We do have a two-parter. We started off, we went deep and we brought you right back up as promised, and we are going to have more to come from Kris Land. And if you're listening now and this conversation challenged you, just even a little bit at this point, growth doesn't come from comfort. It comes from awareness. And what would you do with it? Yes, share it, spread it, and keep helping others return to the light within themselves and keep making the world a better place. I'm Dr. Alisa saying I'll see you on the next episode. Think, Speak, Do Become. Bye now.
Thank you.